Okay.
Hey, now I'm been in the judge Urquidez, and we got legendary, okay, Bill Wallace, legendary, Peter Cunningham,
His name's
Cunningham.
Hold on. He gets to be Sugarfoot. I get to be Superfoot.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have a problem with Dingleberry here.
Oh,
Because his hips are bad.
There you go.
He's just had them replaced, right?
That's right.
A month or so ago, right?
yes, sir.
And Wimpy over here doesn't want to move around, doesn't want to walk normally, wants to go
1 month.
walk.
You know, the
Just
beautiful
walk.
part. So, you know, all this time that we've been together, long time,
Oh, yeah.
a long time. And you know, in the beginning of full contact karate, into kickboxing.
Even
how-
before that, the point tournaments.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
the point term, but we created something, okay, back in '73. As we went up to '75, the word kickboxing was born.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the point I'm making is, in the beginning, when we were doing point tournament was obviously, man, it was bare knuckles
Oh, yeah.
and to the ground,
Yeah.
and that's what it was all about. But then, you know what I realized when full contact karate came in, the first time I fought, I thought I was going to be disqualified. I hit him, he went down, and the first thing I was looking at the judges to see.
If you stop. Yeah. It's a program. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I remember one of my last point fighting tournaments. I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Uh-huh.
We know about Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fighting Donnie Williams. And I fight Donnie. He runs across the ring, boom, just pummeled me right in the chest. I go, ow, that hurt. He gets a point up. So of course I can give him that point myself. We come back in, I move around, I kick him in the face with the round, I say,
Pow.
down he goes. And I went, oh shit, I've been disqualified.
disqualified.
You know, I'm looking down at him, they help him up, stands there. Mike Stones or everybody says, point. I go, point? I go, oh, this is good.
This is good. Yeah.
This is good. So, and I did it again, I won the match. And I went, wow, you know, because a lot of times you're not allowed contact.
Contact,
Remember in
yeah.
early 1970s with Pat Johnson, the no contact rule. If you touched it all, if I touched it,
Yeah.
that's a
Oh
disqualification.
yeah. Yeah.
And you go, hold it, this is a contact sport. And if we're not allowed to make contact, how can it be?
about, yeah.
How can we find out if this works or not?
Aye.
If you think about it, how many of us, when kickboxing first started, moved over to boxing?
Yes.
Actually,
Same since
you know, it just
yeah,
happened
well,
so.
yeah.
I was already boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But most of us were.
We were at home, yeah.
You and Joe were the only ones boxing.
Yeah.
That's right.
You guys
And
were home.
well, the first one's in '74, the German comes charging up, I go bam with a back fist, and it makes smack. And never even slowed him down. And I went, uh-oh,
Yeah, it's trouble.
uh-oh. So you say, hey, we better change, because, you know, karate was fine. Martial arts techniques are wonderful, bare knuckle.
Aye.
But once you put a glove
Gloves on it, yeah.
now that back fist that would make indentations in the face,
yeah.
now basically just bounces
Yeah,
off.
the slaps, yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, evolution of fighting, the art of war. You know, back then in the '60s, there was a lot of Bushido, a lot of internal.
Yes.
And then it started to change. When full contact karate, it started to change into a physical.
Yeah.
And then it became very physical. And then, as time went on, it became less internal, more external, more physical movement instead of less. And
Yes.
then there were strong warriors as your guys saw, because again, the key was to begin with was a mental warfare.
Yep.
And the physical war you're going to do anyway. And so I recognized that we kept the mental part of warfare, and that's what got us to where it was at.
Aye.
All three of us.
That's it.
Think about this. A point tournament, if you lost the point tournament, you didn't really care, because you can always say, well, they didn't call my points.
Aye, aye.
Or I got the points in, and
Yes.
you know. But in kickboxing,
In a fight, that's
if you
right.
lost the fight in kickboxing, to me,
You lost.
it would have been,
Yes,
you
yes,
lost.
yes.
You did lose. You
Yes.
know, all these people
Yeah.
thought you lost, so you
Yeah.
lost. So you say, I'm not gonna. And that's when the
Yes.
endurance comes into play.
Yes.
You know, no matter what happens. Benny, you had great endurance. Petey had great endurance.
sir.
I had decent endurance. So we're out there, and we knew that we had to last 12 rounds.
There you
Aye.
go.
And when you're fighting
No,
for 12
no, no.
rounds,
Back then, it was 15 rounds.
well, mine were 12. So
15
Before it switched over, yeah.
15 rounds, and
Before they
then
cut
what
it, yeah.
happened, then, you know what, when they start outlawing horsehair in the gloves,
Yeah.
yeah.
when they outlawed,
Remember that, yeah.
that was in '87, they outlawed them,
Yeah.
because there was too many deaths
Went for that
happening.
long, yeah.
Well, you got,
For
that long.
it got wet.
Yeah, yeah,
Got wet,
oh,
it got hard.
cement, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when they outlaw the horsehair, they made it from 15 rounds to 12 rounds. And then they started just doing 12 rounds. But you know, I recognize that it got faster because people were thinking, I don't have to worry about
You don't have to make it
15
So,
rounds,
and
right.
And they were pushing harder and faster.
Well, most of the people, physiologically speaking, most of the damage happened in the last 3 rounds. Because the most important thing for us as fighters is endurance.
That's
All right. So when that failed,
The first 3 or 4 rounds, everybody's happy.
Yes.
All of a sudden,
Just sucking in.
and when you're tired, nothing helps.
It makes the coward out of all of us.
Exactly. So what happened, we found out the last 3 rounds, 13, 14 to 15 rounds, is when most of the head damage,
took place.
the concussions happened, because, you know, now the hands, rather than being here, well, I thought they were up.
Yes, they caught the big ones, yeah.
And you caught the
Getting
commitment.
The hands became very heavy, man. But so you know what? So Bill, you know, throughout the time, and after you stopped in kickboxing, you never stopped fighting. But after you stopped kickboxing, actually, when I say actually performing,
Actually
ring out.
competition,
and you started in competition, what did you do from that point on? Because you know, most people, they give up. After they finish, they think they give up. But again, you change occupations.
Yeah.
To what? What you've been doing?
Now I still teach karate,
Yeah.
except I do it a little bit differently. I do seminars now. Now, what we do, what Manny does, what Pete does, what I do, we teach what we've been doing for 50 years. So
That's right.
it's easy for us to do it. But what we have to teach our students to do is to change, to modify, to play with it. Because all 3 of us, as good friends as we are, as long as we've been doing it, we're built differently.
That's right.
We have different strengths, different weaknesses, different flexibilities, but most of all, we're different right here.
Aye.
I never wanted it, you know, Joe Lewis's people talk about in the pocket. We're right here.
Yeah.
I've never in my entire life
Never
wanted to be
for
here.
you, yeah.
Just like with Petey. Benny, you'll just knock the shit out of somebody. You like it. But I've never wanted to be there. I like to be where the camera is. Go, now you can't hit.
There you go.
And I've always had the ability or
To be in a pocket, if you had to.
get there,
Yeah.
get in, and get
Yeah.
back out
Yes,
there.
it.
So and
Yeah.
that's different. See, and that's what in the seminars, that's what we try to work with. Because I've always taught kicking is for distance. Now I learned to box for 2 reasons. The first reason was to keep you away from me so I could kick. The second reason was to keep you away from me so I could kick.
There was no other reason.
Exactly. Yeah. I found out that I had a decent jab.
And a good left hook.
And I had a good left hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of notoriety.
Because that was
That's
my
right.
next question. I said, well,
Yeah.
you know, you had decent leg, but I mean.
That's
decent
right, they
legs-
ran into that left
decent
hook.
legs means that
Yeah.
they couldn't see them. They were
Yes.
so fast.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't see the legs,
Well,
man.
lucky.
Yeah. But you know the beautiful part about that, we're here still talking about. Now, Petey,
This is
yeah, you
yeah.
know, you've been with me for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I mean, forever in
Forever,
the journey.
yeah.
But you know, when you start feeling, you know, because you're both natural kickers. I'm not a natural kicker, but I can't.
You know why Benny's not a natural kicker? Look at his legs.
Yeah.
He got these golf balls, or not golf balls, but softballs on the back of his calf. You know, and they're strong. But
Yes.
strong is also heavy. So you got to pick that thing up. And we got skinny ass
Skinny,
legs.
bony legs, yeah.
Bony, skinny legs, so they're easy to pick up and
Look
easy to
around.
maneuver. Where when you hit somebody, it
They
hurts.
go.
We hit somebody, they go,
Sting, yeah.
what was that?
Yeah.
So it's
You know,
different.
It was different, but you know, Petey, you know, you
That's
went,
it.
and you know, I recognize, but both of you have such fast and powerful legs, and then you had first, a hip replacement,
Aye.
okay, and I know it's only because I mean you used that leg. Like it was, they were just not.
It was a mate,
so
yeah.
Eventually, you know, you wore it out.
The word tear.
But after you got your hip replacement, you can't even tell who had one. What was the secret to that?
Well, I have a master's degree in kinesiology and physiology.
Of course, that's right.
So when I had the replacement done, the doctor said, well, we're going to put you through this rehab. So I went through a couple rehab sessions. I went, well, why would I want to do that? You know, they do this silly, one thing I had to do, squat down and move up. Well, that's great, but I can do that on my own rather than paying you $50 a session.
Yes.
Or number one, you have to understand how you can stretch the muscles out, how you can break the scar tissue loose, and understand more than anything else, and all for the people out there listening to this, if you ever have a knee replacement or you ever have hip replacement, it's not going to come out of place. The doctors know what they're doing. They're going to put it in there. It's going to be nice and solid, so it's not going to come out of place. So don't be afraid that when you move around and when you walk, it'll pop out. It won't.
So right now, Petey just actually gone through and he's in rehabilitation. He's actually building it back.
Yes, sir.
And because Petey has that kind of strength in fighting, the endurance of not stopping, that he's bringing it back. So once you started, I mean, you just had him. So
Just had him, yeah.
what's your thoughts right now?
My thoughts on it, and since the bill is right, when the doctors tell you don't do this, it's a little disclaimer so they don't get sued.
Sure.
And we understand that. Myself, when they asked me, do you think you're gonna kick again? I said, I know, I'm gonna kick again, and I gotta tell you something. When they go, well, I don't know, I go, I gotta tell you something. I said one word, and I've been telling everybody to go online and look up, since Bill Wallace. I got one word to say to you, look up Bill Wallace. And I said, he's teaching seminars, he's kicking. I go, I got nothing to say, you know what I'm saying? So there's my defense. Now the truth is, it more than a body, it's a mind.
Right.
It's a mindset that does it. And today, since you don't see my cane with me right now. In pictures you see my cane. Since the bill came in today, he took my cane. So I guess I'm without a cane now for the long haul. Still I'm kicking again.
He's caneless.
Yeah, I'm caneless now, right? But really, it's a mindset. And like it says, I've got a strong mind. I'm working hard. But if you can, I would say, since if you give humans an out, they'll take it. Yep. So I got a little cane, so I took a little bit of a cane out. Till this morning, when Sensei Bill came and said, nope, you don't need the cane.
See,
and when
the
he said,
cane's out of the question.
Yeah, the cane's out of the question.
The cane is like a loss.
Ah,
if you ever want to lose,
we can't do loss.
That's right. So
we can't do loss. Yeah.
So with that being said,
yes, sir.
I just want all the viewers to know that most important of all, that they're watching and listening to experience.
Yes, sir.
Not something they saw, something they read, something you're talking about experience in the beginning of where you see the UFC right now. You're seeing the beginning right here. And this is where it all started from, right here. So with that, for all you, the ones that are listening and watching, you are the blessed and the lucky ones to actually listen to and watch some of the greatest of all.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you.
Make it better.